Man, it took a while to get here. It took a while to get something really big, but we got something huge today, and we had to hop on to talk about it. So, with that being said, welcome back to another episode of the Dead Man's Mic, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. I am one of your hosts, Nick, along with Craig. Craig, how you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling good. You already know it's announcement season. And hey,
Yes, sir.
they done came they done came out the gate, guns a blazing. So hey, let's just get into it right now. Let's do it.
Absolutely. And tonight we are joined by Yurdy G, one member.
Yo,
What up, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm happy to be back with the bros.
Yeah, man. It's exciting. It's exciting time. And we got Aisha down there on the bottom right hand corner of the screen. What's up? How are you feeling?
Hi, I'm excited. I'm very excited today.
Yeah,
They have
we
been.
we got a lot going on. And then up there in the right corner, we have Josephine the Screen. Welcome
Hi.
to the show. So yeah, like Craig said, man, let's get right into it. So let's just kind of talk about what's been going on. So the last thing that we got, to kind of catch everybody up to speed, was the announcement of Jack and Oddfellow, Chaos and Control. And ever since then, it has been quiet. Last night, a countdown was posted about something happening today on May the 21st. And obviously, they took us back to the roots of the vampires. They took us back to the juke joint. And Smoke and Stack pull up on HHN this year. Sinners was announced as our first bi-coastal IP for HHN 35 on one coast, 2026 on the other. You know how it goes. But Sinners was announced, and I just kind of want to go around the table and we kind of all talk about how you feel about this. So, Craig, how do you feel about Sinners being announced? We know this is kind of right on target with the spec map, but it's here. How do you feel about this?
Listen, it is finally here. This is what I have ever since rumors have run rampant. Honestly, ever since I've seen Sinners, I was like, you know what? It may be too out the ordinary because Warner Brothers loves to hold their properties hostage. So I don't know. But if there was an opportunity to strike while the iron was hot, now is the time. And we had previous episodes where I was reiterating, listen, this is the time to do it now. You want HHN35 to be as big of an anniversary year as you can. This is the right opportunity to do it. And lo and behold, is here. And it's kind of it's kind of it's kind of unbelievable to me, like a sense of like it has like kind of a sense of unbelief to me because it's almost like you don't see a movie, let alone a horror film, to have this sort of cultural impact and to have um and to be in just the ethos of pop culture, and to just sweep the Oscars and have this much success. And now it's being brought to the forefront of Halloween Horror Nights 35, and it's just an unbelievable thing. So it goes to show the incredible job that Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan, the entire cast and crew, have done to create this absolute masterpiece, and now we get to live it. We going inside the juke joint. Let's go.
Yeah, dude, going inside the juke joint is going to be quite the experience, I must say. I'm very excited to see what kind of detail they come with for this. I don't want this in a tent. I'm just going to be greedy about it. I don't want it in a tent. It needs to be in a sound stage. It deserves that. Like this has got to be top tier. Like we talked about the Darkest Deal kind of being a little bit of a setup as to what Sinners could be, and if done right, we're looking at an instant classic here for sure. Aisha, how are you feeling about Sinners being announced for HHN 35?
I'm I, I'm so excited. When I think when I first seen the spec map and it said that centers could be potentially, I was like, oh yeah, shit, this will be nice. Considering, how I liked it, the Darkest Deal. I thought it was a pretty cool house, but just to see, I guess, how they would do a center's house if they would bring in elements of the Darkest Deal into it. Um I'm excited. I hope they do it good. I can't wait to hear all of the music that is in the house. I mean, I'm excited. Like you said, I don't want it to be in the tent. I want it to be like a main attraction of the entire event. I know we talked about it earlier, y'all, that this is definitely an express pass kind of house. And from everything that I've seen on different threads and all of that, everybody's excited about it. And I'm so happy that Ryan Coogler was like, yeah, y'all can go ahead and use this shit. Cause I really didn't think so, because it was such a big movie. I honestly did not think that, Universal was gonna get the rights to it, but hey, they proved us wrong, and I'm happy to see it. Yes.
And you got to think, like, if they wouldn't have done it for the anniversary year, then this house does not take off the way that it probably will this year. The timing has to be perfect for this. But you brought up something that I didn't even think about, and this is something that I love about HHN houses, is the music. And that movie is completely music based. So I am very excited to hear what they're going to be able to cook up inside this house. Now, Yurdy, how are you feeling about it?
I'm happy about it. So the thing is, I literally saw this movie Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday when it came out. So for me to see this is like a dream come true. So just to kind of go back to the whole Darkest Deal conversation, I believe that it's gonna have certain elements of Darkest Deal, but it's gonna make the actual Darkest Deal house look like Spirits of the Covenant in terms of detail. I
Okay.
also believe that the house is gonna be as long as Insidious from 2024. So I can definitely see it being in that one specific soundstage. That's remember, the matter of fact, the one that the Terrifier was in. I think is that specific soundstage, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think that one allows you the most space for sure.
Yeah. So like what I'm specifically looking for is, of course, like the church, because that's where the movie started and ended. The Jew joint, which we know is gonna be in there. But I want to see more of the dynamic of Remick and Sammy. That's what I'm looking for the most. Because plot twist, in my opinion, Remick was not the villain. He was a victim.
Wait, really? You think that?
The reason, okay, look, so the reason I say that is Remick, he hates racism also. The reason he is a vampire because the vampires took his family from him and turned him. True or false?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so he was a victim. He just turned into Thanos. Think about it. His reasoning behind everything was perfect, but he just went about it the wrong way.
And I think that's kind of um the wrong ideology of many about many movie villains, like you said about, like you was comparing Remick to Thanos. Like, it was literally, Thanos literally had he had the right ideology, but he went about the wrong way. To save this, like, to have all these supplies and resources, but you're killing half the world, half the universe. That's crazy, you know.
Literally.
But that's, in all actuality, you was right. Remick was not the villain, but of course, went about it the wrong way. So in the end, he was the villain.
And the way he said Sammy was funny. Sammy.
I'm gonna need that in the house too. I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that moment in the house for
We
sure.
definitely need that in the house. 100%.
I would be interested to see if they would bring in, but I guess they didn't have that big of a role, the Native Americans, in the house. But I guess maybe one thing, because I guess they didn't have a role in the movie. So,
I mean, speaking of that, Murdy and Aiello did tweet out that in their audition, on their audition page, there are, they are holding auditions for the Sinner's House specifically, like all these different roles, stilt walkers, roller skaters, like dancers. So by all means, that moment when I lied to you could be, that moment in of itself is gonna be crazy.
oh,
So
good. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And Joe, I know that you're
Listen,
in the vampire direction because we have to shine light on that.
listen,
What are your
listen.
thoughts?
Okay, you remember the scare zone from last year that they had the vampires and stuff at?
Was that Masquerade or
It was, and I was pissed because I was so tired by that point that I could not even appreciate it. So this is my redemption. I get to be in a house full of vampires, and I'm fucking ready.
Yeah.
I am ready. I'm just ready. My neck is right here. They can do whatever they want. I'm ready. Just saying.
Well, it's also been a while since we've really had a lot of vampire stuff. A house that's really vampire heavy too. It's been a while since we've been in that position. So this is also like it's an IP, but it's also fresh. And I want to kind of talk about what Aiello said. He posted today on his Instagram after the announcement went up, and he said, "The moment Sinners premiered, we knew it was an undeniable fit for Halloween Horror Nights, and it's an honor to bring this story to life. It's rare for a film to fully satisfy hardcore horror fans while also inviting new audiences into the genre, and that's exactly what Sinners does. Its world, characters, and intensity will translate into a relentless haunted house. We can't wait for our fans to step inside and experience the horror firsthand in a way that only Halloween Horror Nights can deliver." So to me, that says we're going to cook the shit out of this. This is not going to be just some you go through and we put an actor here or there. No, we're going to cook this shit up. And not only that, we'll make sure there are a whole lot of scares for y'all too. What do y'all think about Aiello's words? Because he talking this shit right now. That's what it is.
Listen,
You better back it up. It's gonna be like Chucky. You better back that shit up.
The budget is gonna be out of this world. It might be, this might be the biggest budget that they have ever gotten, because I'm pretty sure Warner Brothers is backing them, but Ryan Coogler himself, he probably got his fat ass wallet and being like, "Hey, do it, cook for me for real."
Hey, there's a lot riding on it, but if you wanted a theme park event to have this, have the rights to this is the one. Now, the real question is, what's Murdy going to do with this, and what is Aiello going to do with this, and how are they going to be different? Because this is not going to be the same house on the West Coast. It's not. What do y'all think about that?
Honestly, like we've discussed in the previous episode when we did that Aiello versus Murdy video. I think it was a previous episode. They both have them and their teams have two completely different mindsets and imaginations. So in a way, when they have bi-coastal houses, is going to be there's going to be some similarities and there's going to be some huge differences, of course. But I honestly think, depending on, like you mentioned, we all know that in Orlando it's going to be in the soundstage, for sure. But like it was a couple years ago with Insidious, it was in the soundstage in Orlando, but in LA it was in the tent. which didn't really fit the vibe of Insidious, which was, that house was up pretty much on the bottom of the totem pole for me in LA. But it all depends on if it's in the soundstage or not in LA. We know it's gonna be in the soundstage in Orlando, but it's almost like with LA, it's a mixed bag. But can they deliver? I think they will. We just gonna have to see.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the main thing that I'm curious about would be there are a couple words that he said in his, in his post about it. He said intense and he also said relentless. So the word relentless to me means that this is like what Yurdy G said earlier in the episode. This is not only going to be, very detailed, but this is also going to be lengthy. You will be going through this for a while. If it's relentless, there's going to be like a gauntlet of some sort. You're going to be getting hit every which way. I definitely feel like we are really looking at a potential classic here. I really do. And like, we don't say that about every house that gets announced, but this one feels different. I don't know. This one definitely feels different. And so, like what Aisha said at the beginning of the episode, hey, this is definitely an express pass type of situation, especially if you're not a local. Get the express pass. Don't play with it. Don't let it sell out on you because you'll be spending the whole night just to do that house. Like, stay and scream, whatever you got to do, you got to make sure you have your stuff together. What do y'all think about that with the ticketing situation?
Express.
Yeah.
Y'all need Express. We need Express.
Look, I'm thinking about upgrading the Express Unlimited. To be honest,
Hey, when we went to Hollywood and it was the best thing I've ever spent money on.
Listen, that after 2 p.m. pass with the unlimited express on there, goaded. It's needed. Get that pass because we are. I'm
Oh,
telling you.
yeah, we got to have that because also it allows you to go through the house as many times as you want, and you get a different walkthrough every single time. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And see, all right. So when you mention walkthroughs, you asked the question. Well, you pointed out relentless and intense, right?
Yeah,
So my translation to that is you get you get the vibe of Insidious with the intensity of the Orlando Jason Gauntlet when you walk through the mask. So think about it like this. You probably, I'll say, three-quarters of the way through the house, right?
yeah,
And you're in the juke joint. Remember the scene like closer to the end where Slim had cut his arm and was like, come get me, da 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 da. Think about it like this. You're in that specific scene. You got Remick, you got Mary, you got Cornbread, you got all the other side characters like the Ku Klux Klan's niece and nephew. You
yeah,
got five in between 5 and 9 people just hitting you from every angle. Boom, 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 boom. That's gonna make people pass out. That's also gonna make people keep coming through the house.
yeah. Absolutely. Like that, the Gauntlet in Jason Universe was perfect for that.
That shit was terrifying.
I would actually say that Yurdy hit it right on the button when it comes to the gauntlet because I can literally see that going through going through that moment of the juke joint when it's like chaos everywhere and um all the vampires just popping outside the side 360 type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it can be utter chaos in that moment because it was in the movie. So why not?
Right. They want to emulate that chaos that happened. Now, the real question would be how exactly do they end this house? Do they end it with the scene around the water? Do we end it at sunrise? You feel what I'm saying? Like how, if they're going to bring this to life, we know we're going to have the beginning and the, you know, the rise in action and everything, but what does the end look like to this house? And that's a big question I have. Not necessarily a concern, just a question.
You know,
How do you end it?
the ending could be it could be between like Smokes shootout with the Ku Klux Klan, um, and a little bit between like um, after that it could be Stacks like it could be Stack echoing in the background and saying, last time I seen my brother, I seen the sun, and then boom, there's a last jump scare of him and Mary. I guess I'm not sure. I mean, I guess it would go like that, but that is a very good question, Nick, because you can go many different ways with the ending of this house. So I would just like wait and see what they conjure up in terms of that.
Yeah, definitely. I going back to like what we said about Murdy and Aiello, these houses are going to bring the story to life, but they're going to be so completely different, and it'll be different on the standpoint of like one character perspective or like a series of lines that were said in the movie. Like they might portray that differently in Orlando than the way that they would do in Hollywood, or like anything like that. So not only is that ending situation a good talking point, but it's also a question about what will happen on both coasts.
Okay, so look, you just gave me an idea. So what if in Hollywood it's more story driven, right? Like you know how the YS6 was Hollywood was based more on Abby the Witch's Hut versus Orlando was based on the actual backstage area and a little bit more of the lore of the fiend himself. So what if Hollywood is more story driven, but it's specifically from Remix perspective?
I think that would work.
Because look, at that point they can incorporate Choctaw, the Native Americans.
Native Americans, yeah.
They can incorporate that. They can incorporate, of course, like when he landed at the at the Grand Dragon's niece and nephew's house. They can literally give it to us from Remix eyes that whole way through.
You know what? I'm not mad at anything that either of y'all have said. I'm not. Y'all cooking right now. Now, Joe, what do you think they can do with like Mary's character? Like, do you think
Well, because okay, I will agree because LA was a lot more scarier. The Uncle Howdy shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Uncle Howdy was insane in LA. They were so aggressive for no reason. Okay, so I would like to see her in LA. I think she would be better in LA. To be honest, I think that Orlando is going to focus on the twins more, and then LA can focus on the side characters more. That's what I think.
I would like to say that when it comes to Mary's character, I want for her to be able to have actual lines. Almost to the point where it would be cool if they actually mic'd her up so that she could have her actual lines. Because a lot of times we see those main characters and they have the jump scare, and that's cool and all, but sometimes you hold enough weight to the plot that we really need to hear what's going on. Like, take it back to Oddfellows Twisted Origins. If he wouldn't have been able to actually be in there speaking, then it just would have thrown it off if he was just having jump scares. Like, we need to
He
hear
spoke.
we need to hear what's going on.
He spoke. Like he's gonna speak.
He will be speaking. He will.
Yeah.
Dude. Now, All right, let's look at the spec map. So we are 2 out of 10 complete in terms of being correct. We have Jack and I fellow, and now we have Sinners that have been announced. Looking forward, what do we think is next, and how do we feel about Ozzy Osbourne at this moment? I know a lot of people were talking about this the other day. Seems to have died down a little bit, but where are we with Ozzy right now, and what do we think is gonna come next?
I honestly believe that Ozzy is a shoe in because if you guys didn't realize last week, Ozzy's son did go live with a Q&A, and somebody asked about a, a house of if he was going to have a house at HHN. He said yes. What'd you say again? And so I'm like, so that confirmed it. That all but confirmed it, by the way. So he and like he it slipped his mind that he signed a whole lot of NDAs too. So um but in terms of Ozzy, I think is sorry for the Gaga fans out there, but is Ozzy's time. Of course, we gotta honor the they gotta honor the man. But um, and in terms of what's coming next, besides that house, I believe that it's still gonna be Hellraiser for sure. Still gonna be Stranger Things 5. I I think we're gonna have a Cowboys and Aliens original. Um, we're going to have a sequel to HR Blood and Guts. We're going to I forgot what I think it was like a excuse me like a sequel to like a Yeti house, like a Yukon Yeti or something like that. Um, wasn't sure. Gotta go back to the spec map, but um, pretty much I think everything is barring the we don't necessarily know what the show is, what the nighttime show is going to be, the entertainment, but I think both spec maps on both coasts are pretty accurate. So um, everything is pretty much lining up to where it's going to be. If Sinners is anything to go by, because hey, everything is going to happen. Like everything is lining up, you know, to be announced in order. Now, unless they throw us a curveball and give us something that we wasn't totally expecting, hey, I'm all for that. But in terms of what we got now, in terms of spec map, I'm with it.
Yeah, I feel good about it so far. I really think it's cohesive and it's kind of adding up to what we've been seeing. Cowboys and Aliens original, I'm all in on that shit. I think an alien themed anything is always cool. I'm always game for that. I always find it interesting. So why not? You know what I'm
And
saying?
we went through Farm 51 last year,
Yeah,
um,
at Hallow Scream.
at Hallow Scream. So hey, I'm
Yeah,
with it.
I definitely be down for that. Is there anything that y'all would like to see that?
I think I heard or did I see a speculation mapper I think over I think Evil Dead.
Oh yeah, yeah. Evil Dead Burn was on there.
Yeah. So I mean I I would like this. I'm a fan of the Evil Dead movies. So if they're gonna bring it back, this is a good year to bring it back. So that's probably one that I probably would love to see. Probably over. I think I seen one spec map that had Texas Chainsaw on there. Please don't bring that. But yeah, if Evil Dead, I'm all for Evil Dead. Yes.
I feel like I kind of agree with you. Texas Chainsaw has shown up a little bit too much. I'm never mad at it being there because honestly, it's always a fun house, but
It's just repetitive though.
it's repetitive. It's time to take a break. You know what I'm saying? Kind of the same thing with Michael. We see Michael Myers a lot, but
Same thing with Stranger Things.
oh yeah, definitely same thing with Stranger Things,
Definitely ran its course. It's time to go.
and those are the ones that sell tickets. So if Stranger Things is going to be able to be there, it's going to be there.
Stranger Things 4 was trash.
Hey,
Yeah, and
It
that
was trash, man.
house was not really that good either.
I mean,
yeah,
it was better than Chucky's kill count for sure, but it was trash.
Yeah, it was detail oriented as hell, but I mean, it was mid.
yeah. I feel like that's one of those that's an ode to the fans and not necessarily.
That's all it is. Yeah,
That one's about getting you thrown into the environment. You know.
yeah. You
Yeah,
know,
you know,
we all love to see Eddie Munson die.
Well, before we close it out, man, we do need to talk about tickets. Multi-night tickets are still not available, as far as we know.
I,
So that would be Frequent Fear, Rush of Fear. Basically, those two, I think, would be the two ticket packages, but they are not available yet. They'll be on sale soon, I'm sure. I'm kind of eyeing the first week of June. That's kind of what
I'm thinking the middle of June for those.
middle of June.
And this
I
is just
say
based on the history of the last few years.
I say first week of June with you, Nick.
Yeah, June for sure.
Especially since Hollywood just dropped theirs today. They're definitely either. I mean, they could very well go next week because spooky. So
Man,
I,
Hollywood is so random with their drops. Like they don't promo as hard as Orlando does.
They do not promo nearly as hard.
and you want to know why though? Do you want to know why? Because people that go to HHN out in Hollywood. That's mostly all locals.
Yeah. And
So they don't need to they don't need to go as hard as promo as Orlando because everyone flocks to Orlando. That's where most of the bangers are. That's where they get like the most houses, like the more elaborate things. So I mean, of course, it's gonna be like that. I mean, they treat out of LA, they treat HHN like a local haunt, really, which isn't a
for
bad
real.
thing. Don't get me wrong, but that just goes to show you, you know, not too many people go out to LA, so they don't have to go as far with the marketing and the promo.
And
Oh, they was outside though for Terrifier though.
I could almost see LA being like we see Orlando being promoted all over the internet. We see it everywhere. But Hollywood, like you guys both said, I feel like if we were just locals, right, living in LA and we turn on the FM radio, it would be old school promotion. You're gonna hear about HHN on the radio. Like you're gonna hear about it, by going to the local store that's selling promo codes and stuff for it. It's just a little different out there. But
Right. You might see flyers at White Castle.
yeah, exactly. And I would still encourage people to go out if you can make the trip and check out HHN Hollywood because it truly is a different vibe. But it's still a blast. Always.
It's the lower lot party, Nick.
That's exactly what it is. The lower lot party. And
All the bangers in the lower lot.
always, and I need sinners to be in the lower lot. I need that.
I mean, that's the rumor is going to be in the H lot. So
I need the tram to be crazy. Art crazy.
Yeah, Tram will be wild for sure. We'll have to see what comes from it. I think what
Wait.
we're expecting next is probably another IP, probably Hellraiser. It's probably what people are thinking.
Okay, so look, I know we about to close it out or whatever. I was thinking about this after you sent me that text, Nick. Do y'all realize that Universal is listening to the fans more than ever now, as far as IPs that we get at Universal and everything?
Wait, say it one more time. I didn't catch it.
So I said the thing is like we need to realize that Universal is definitely listening to the fans more than ever. Think about it. Last year we got FNAF and Terrifier. This year we getting Sinners. More than likely, definitely getting Hellraiser. Like think about the next 5 years.
Right. I definitely see where you're going. They're definitely listening to how we feel and what we would like to see. for sure.
Now, Michael Aiello, if you listening, please give us a sequel to Graveyard Games. You know that's my number 2.
Hey, Graveyard Games was the shit. That would be cool.
Graveyard Games, Puppet Theater. Oh my God.
They could definitely run Puppet Theater back.
I would not be mad at Puppet Theater. Holy shit, what a house.
Honestly, look, bring back Revenge of the Tooth Fairy because that was one of my favorites from HHN Light in 2020. I was so mad y'all did not go.
I know. Go ahead, Aisha. I saw you. Were you going to come in? Her thought will come back. It's going to come back. Well, before we close out, the last thing is we are going to be down there in Orlando next week for Spooky Empire. Really excited to get down there and hang out. Hey, man, we're going to be in the parks and we'll probably, post some merch updates and things like that. Some cool construction updates if we can.
We will be getting that Sinners merch from All Hallows Eve and 5 and 9.
Hey, absolutely, man. We're coming home with some Sinners merch for sure. And as of right now, that kind of catches us up on everything going on with HHN, man. Sinners, the newest house to be announced for HHN35, the first IP, also a bi-coastal IP. Still waiting on those multi-ticket packages to drop, but we expect for those to drop soon. And other than that, be sure to follow everybody's platform. It'll be linked in the description. Give us a listen, give Yardy's music a listen, check out any podcast, anything that we have going on. And we will see you all for the next announcement, whether that be tomorrow or in 2 weeks. Who knows? But we will see you all soon. Appreciate you for listening to the Dead Man's Mic, and we will catch you all on the next one.
Peace out.